Let me guess. You opened this video because you've been thinking about becoming a Python master for a long time, but there's just so much information that your head splits. Well, you're doing the right thing by watching this video. If you really want to become an absolute Python master, watch this whole video till the end, because here I'll analyze in detail all the necessary skills and topics of Python. Trust me, after watching this whole video, you won't have a single question in mind on how to become an absolute Python master. My name is Steven White. During these 10 years, I have gone from a freelance developer student to software developer at Amazon. And now I have my own development team. And trust me guys, I know what it means to learn a programming language by yourself from scratch.
This is really difficult for everyone.
Oh, and by the way, on this channel I will publish useful videos for beginner programmers, so in order not to miss out on a new video, do not forget to subscribe and click the bell. Alright, let's get started. There's a ton of useful information on Python that you can find online. For some, it can be very convenient, but for beginner programmers, a lot of new and unstructured information can become a nightmare. That is why I have written out all the main topics and divided them into 3 parts so that it will become easier and more convenient for you to start your journey in Python. Alright, do not forget to like the video, and here we go. Let's start with the basic skills. Here we will focus on the most basic and fundamental programming concepts. We will understand how the basic programming blocks work. So I have prepared a list of formal topics with which I recommend starting your path in Python. Let's talk about variables. We have x equals 1, y equals 2, and x equals y. It is so incredibly simple. Create 3 variables, assign x as y, and what is x equal to? Exactly. Alright, next we go to conditions. I will use rain as an example. Is it raining or not? We write raining equals true, we claim that it is raining, and then we write that if it's raining, we need to take an umbrella with us. Does that make sense? It is logical. Now let's talk about chaining conditions. So how can we make a chain of conditions that has more than one condition? For example, we take an umbrella with us only when it rains and if we don't have a car. By the way, it's cloudy today, so where's my umbrella? Okay, our next topic will be operators, which show how we add and subtract 2 variables. What function is the percentage operator responsible for in Python? This is what you should learn before leaving the basic level. After that, you will most likely switch to control flow. Things like if, else, else if, study them, and then proceed to loops and iterables that will help you execute your code multiple times. They are also very important for more complex variables, which are called data structures. And that is what pushes me to also recommend studying basic data structures in Python. It is essential to understanding lists, sets, dictionaries, as well as string Boolean values in order to move forward to the next concept. After you've mastered these concepts, you can proceed to functions. Functions are very important for Python, as they will teach you to reuse your code several times. You will need to understand how they work in order to move forward to the next concept, which will be one of the most important topics: mutable versus immutable data types. Not a lot of beginner programmers know about mutable and immutable types. It is important for you to understand that in Python there are variables that we can change, and there are constants that cannot be changed in any way. This will help you get rid of many bugs in your code. Let's continue to the next topic, which will be common methods in Python. Python has a lot of basic operations that are often used. For example, if you have a string, how do I convert this string to an uppercase or lowercase? Where do we add a new item to a list or a set? These are basic operations and techniques that are incredibly easy to find and master, but are very important to understand them before you can move forward as a specialist. Finally, I would recommend that you learn file I/O input and output operations. How easily do you read from a text file? How do you write to a text file? These are all the things that you should be able to do, especially if you want to create real applications. In any case, you need to know these basic topics in order to become a real cool Python master.
Please try to remember, this is really important.
I understand, for beginners, this list of topics looks massive, but I assure you, if you really decide to become a Python master, it will only take you a few weeks to master these topics. Of course, given that you constantly practice writing the code and choose the right platform for learning programming. I'll be honest with you guys. I went all the way from zero to a highly paid Python programmer, having started while still a student at the private University of St. Joseph back in 2012. And I can say with confidence that half of the knowledge that is taught at the universities is not applied at work and practical tasks. The responsibility at the university, in addition to providing theoretical and practical disciplines, is to prepare the student for research activities. Now I teach programming myself. My training is aimed specifically at practice, at the knowledge that can bring income and give a cool, high-paying job. While working with my students, I use my many years of experience as a developer in large IT companies such as Amazon. I can say with confidence that my training will be much more useful and effective than anywhere else, especially for beginner programmers. I'll tell you all about this amazing training later in the video, but if you can't wait, all the details are in the first link in the description of the video. By the way, write down in the comments below, why did you decide to become a programmer? I'm sure each of you has your own unique story, so share it with all of us. Alright guys, we just went over the basic, yet very important stuff that you must know before moving on to the more advanced sections. These next two sections will cover some of more intricate topics of Python. If you want to advance as a Python developer and achieve an amazing result, be sure to watch this video till the very end. So now let's move on to the topics that I consider to be intermediate skills. Don't forget that the most important thing is to practice your newly obtained knowledge in order to fully grasp the process of writing the code. It's not enough to just watch videos where I tell you about these things. You have to practice writing these codes yourself. This is the only way you will advance as a programmer. Alright, the first topic on my intermediate skills list is object-oriented programming. Understanding classes and objects is essential if you want to be successful in Python. This will take a while, but you must go through it, especially if you plan on using other programming languages as well. You need to understand that you have to have a very high level of proficiency in object-oriented programming in order to move past the intermediate skills and advance to more intricate topics of programming. After achieving a solid foundation in understanding object-oriented programming, you are ready to learn about data structures. They will help you learn more about data storage and algorithmic thinking. Once you have more specific Python elements available to you, you can move on to inheritance, which refers to object-oriented programming. However, it includes a number of other very important things as well, so I've highlighted it separately. In the next step, I would recommend moving on to the lambda functions. These are anonymous functions you will use frequently in your work. They are also going to be included in the next topic that we are going to discuss, which are collections as well as maps and filters. But first, I will briefly explain what lambda actually is. Lambda is an anonymous function that doesn't have a specific name. You write it on one line, but you can use it in only very specific places. It's very convenient. Map and filter are very useful methods that can be used within the lambda functions. After that, you can look into the collections module for even cooler data structure. You will also want to master args and quarks. When it comes to passing arguments and parameters, if you don't know how much you're going to pass, where you want to set up decorators or even more complex things, you'll need to understand how args and quarks work. That will give you knowledge on the flexibility of Python as a programming language. By the way, before I forget, in the next video I will talk about 3 Python automation projects for beginners. It will be interesting and useful for you, as hopefully by that time you will have already begun practicing everything that I have told you so far in this video. This means that you will be able to become a skilled Python master even faster and earn from $3,000 per month and above at the beginning of your career while working on some really cool projects from the comfort of your home or a really nice office of some top IT companies in the world, just like me when I worked at Amazon. Oh, what a great time that was. And they've had a delicious coffee too. It was just great. Wait a second. What was I talking about? Alright, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. Let's continue. I would like to go over more advanced features of Python. We're going to begin with the magic methods. If you have ever seen underscore, init, these are the primary examples of special magic methods in Python. They will help you in writing various cool class functions. Next, I recommend you to learn PIP. So the Python Package Manager allows you to install modules or use third-party modules in your Python programs. This will help you use other people's code and install different Python modules. Moreover, you can learn virtual environments in Python. These were the essential topics that you will definitely have to master in order to progress past the intermediate level. I know what you're thinking right now.
My mind is blown, yes.
There's so much new information out there and you're not too sure how to comprehend all of it? I agree. When you're just starting to learn Python, all of this information can be overwhelming. Therefore, I do not want each of you to spend 11 years or more waiting to achieve the results in programming required to be able to be qualified enough to get your first high-paying job and start making real money. This is why I created my personal bootcamp, How to Become a Paid Programmer from Scratch, and earn the first $100K already this year. I want to convey to everyone some of the best ways that you can reach your desired income and become a highly paid programmer, which programming languages and knowledge are relevant now in our field, and I also want to show everyone a strategy, a step-by-step solution on how to grow your income literally every month, having only the necessary skills required. After all, the customer does not care how many programming languages you know. The client only cares about whether you can provide him with a solution or not. Follow the link in the description below and take part in my top-of-the-line bootcamp. I am certain that this bootcamp will be the starting point for you becoming a highly paid developer. Most importantly, the training is ideal for beginners because it does not require programming knowledge to start it, and there's no required prerequisite that you have to have. Follow the link right now. I will be waiting for everyone. Well, now that you know where to begin your training, I think we are ready for a list of more advanced level topics.
I think you can, because I believe in you.
I'm going to say right now that you don't have to understand all of the topics in the section to be successful in Python. In this section, I will talk about the subtler nuances of Python, and the first one is decorators. They are very often used in Python to update functions and are very useful in development. Also, we have generators. Generators are a way to use memory efficiently in Python. For example, you are creating a collection, and not just creating it as a whole, you can generate one item at a time. If you only need access to one item from this collection, you can use generators to do that, and they will save you memory for your program. You can also do that with 2 items, 3 items, etc. Our next parameter is going to be context managers, which you have probably seen with the keywords such as with. As an example of context managers, we use OpenFile, which provides the execution of the cleanup operation that occurs when you exit the context manager. Great! Now you have a better understanding of the decorators, generators, and context managers.
Congratulations, son.
Next, I recommend that you start learning concurrency. This is one of the most difficult topics on our list, which will allow you to execute code at the same time. Now we can start learning about testing. So when you've studied everything I've told you today, you should learn about test-driven development in Python. Also, if I were you, I will learn more about build and manipulate packages, which you will need if you want to send your code to other people. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today is async.io, a very popular way of developing, which you've most likely seen in a lot of projects. It will help you improve your concurrency and make your code even more amazing. Today, you have learned a lot of super useful information that will greatly simplify your path to becoming a successful and in high demand Python specialist. As promised, I have sorted out all the main Python topics, divided them into parts, and provided you with many examples. This video turned out to be amazing, so I think my efforts definitely deserve your likes. As I have mentioned earlier, in the next video I will talk about 3 Python automation projects for beginners, which after watching you will definitely want to start programming and practicing your skill. And in the videos ahead, you will learn exactly how to make your first $500, as well as the easiest and fastest way to become an in-demand programmer, which will land you your dream job today. As you can see, there are tons of benefit from the lessons that I'm going to teach you next. And I hope to see you in my next videos. And yes, they will be posted regularly. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on the gold mine that I'm going to share with you guys. This was Stephen White. See you soon.